And we're already into the draft phase. No time to break down the bans, but a Caitlyn makes it through the cracks. But Reckless answers back with the Jhin, one of the few marksmen that can at least answer in power. Not necessarily with range, but you do have strong all-in potential thanks to that fourth bullet shot. Mirage, they're going with the Caitlyn Lux combo. Memento on the Lee Sin, something that he has made a name for himself on the career. And Xin Zhao and Jace will be the answers.
Also something, I mean, we talked about, Ravi was talking about it on the desk. Cabochard, more often than not, is playing for Lane Kingdom. 1-1-3, very good at playing for his top lane. K-Corp, actually one of the few teams who do play for their top laner, and we've seen examples of it. And of course, the mentioned BDSA game against Aggressivo on the Narm. Sorry, buddy, I gotta bring it up every once in a while. But it's just an example of how K-Corp are really good playing towards Cabochard and why he warrants such attention. The thing I do want to highlight, though, we're on 12-3. This is the nerfed Caitlyn. Her early game is still just as good. The thing is, though, her AD growth has been nerfed quite noticeably. So it puts even more pressure in this early game for Mirage to be able to try and make something happen in the bottom lane here. Cody's son so far has been performing on things like the Aphelios, and I think that is when we've seen him at his best here so far for Mirage Elyandra. So now we're gonna see if he can show us something a little bit more on this new look.
Multiple supports being banned away from Hantera. They can still look for a support pick and save counter pick Forsaken in the mid lane. Things like that would be spicy.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Let's go!
Okay, that's a really great answer there overall. Hantera pulling out the Blitzcrank, because the thing that we talk about a lot, hook champs and things like that into the Kate Lux, where it's like, hey, look, you're really annoying, you have good range and stuff like that. But if you get hooked one time, it's done. And it's magnified so much more with the Blitzcrank, because it's not like they hook, like it's Thresh or it's Nautilus, and they move towards you. Nope, it's come here, buddy. We're here, it's just perfect way to be able to get, and there's a lot of squishy members on the side of Mirage too, with the exception, of course, of that Mundo in the top side. You had a lot of potential targets here that K-Corp are going to be able to grab here. This is the first Blitzcrank we've seen in LFL Spring here this year, and of course, it's going to be a first time for Hantera this year as well, but it's a spicy one.
Victor locked in for Rangjun, just a standard, and then with Mundo in the top lane, if I remember correctly, this is not only Bad Lulu's first Mundo. Is it our first Mundo appearance in LFL, or have we seen other teams play it?
We might have seen it once, but it's definitely not a common pick here. So the idea has got to be something like you need a front line. You need someone to soak up the damage here that K-Corp are putting out, because you have a lot of damage elsewhere. I mean, you have Cody's son, you have Rangjun, who are going to be big damage carries. Even with the Caitlyn nerfs, this is who they're clearly going to lean towards on this side. And Bad Lulu's a player who we talk about doesn't get a lot of resources here, but usually does perform still on these constantly picks. And here we go. We're going to throw to our third game of the day. The struggling Mirage Elyandra versus the surging Karmine Corp. And I mean, so much we could say talking about Karmine Corp. Both of these teams, really. But this Blitzcrank is just the biggest thing for me, because I love when supports have the Blitzcrank in their pocket that they bring up. Of course, I do you think of Chime, when we think of NA, the Academy scene over on Golden Guardians. He is certainly not afraid to pick that when people would dare pick enchanters against him. And Hantera seems to be the same here. Of course, because you have this Blitzcrank, you have this insane level 1. K-Corp, they're going for the invade.
Delayed to one invade. Karmine Corp won't find either Cody's Recto or Memento, so they be able to deduce. And Lee Sin is not blue side of the map, because that blue is also coming to lane late. Information for Karmine Corp. So they'll know that Memento starting on the top side of the map. Is one slot. Does he want to cross over and take away the red post, which is a huge deny away from any Listen's early game plans? Or does he want to split the map?
I think he's going to more play for the split map here, just because, again, you know it's this Caitlyn Lux in the bottom lane. You want to shut it down immediately, early on. And here's the worst part, Mark. I'm glad you're sitting down, because I know as a jungler, you're going to hate this. Because of the path Reckless and Hantera took, Memento doesn't even know. He doesn't know that his bot side jungle is
no.
gone. It looked like that 113 got leashed for the blue. Here it comes, the walk of shame.
It's like, hold up.
You throw the Q, there's nothing there.
Yeah, the first is like, throw out the Sonic Wave, and I was like, wait a minute. I didn't miss, right? And then you're like, oh no.
Oh no, bro.
They're gone. And now Memento's like, well, I gotta do something. I can't cross easily over
no
to
W. Isn't gonna be able to find the kill, but at least you do manage to get something. Now this does offer more pressure to Rongjun a bit in the middle lane here, but it's tough. It's looking like 113's actually gonna, he's gonna immediately go for his red as well, because now he knows Memento could potentially be in the area. Something he's gonna have to go for here, but oh man, this is a rough game so far. Only 3 camps done for this Lee Sin, and 113 is working on so much of his side of the jungle, which has so much available to him here. Memento hasn't been able to find any value thus far here. So his first clear, very successful for 113 and Karmine, and even though Seiken has to TP, ultimately, this is a dub.
The fact that Memento not able to find anything mid lane, no summoners burned either, only just a teleport from Seiken, which should give Rongjun a little bit of an advantage in terms of what he's able to come back to lane with, maybe a stronger buy and components, but now there's a ward in the river, so it should protect Cody's son, and Waxo Ball, whoa! Nice hook from Hantera, does force the flash out of Cody's son. He's gonna have to be a little bit more careful the next time he steps up.
Oh, okay. Just holding my breath there for a second, but again, Memento manages to clear the Krug, show up, and guess what? 113, he has the timer on the Raptors camp, so either he's going to go for the gank. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty easy gank, but he might actually just go for the Raptors instead. I mean, ultimately, Memento is trying, but he isn't able to have this big effect on the early game that you kind of hope to have as a Lee Sin here. 113 has just had his number from the start. Bot lane and isolation, I mean, is going well for Reckless and Hantera, just because Raxo had to recall. He ran out of mana. Around that time, Cody's son went for that flash play. Yeah, look, 113, he's showing mid. Really, with this big wave, it does mean that there isn't much Rongjun can do about it here, because I think the freeze is potentially threatened. If he recalls, he's going to have to blow the teleport.
Rongjun, he set this wave. I think he stepped out of vision, allowed fully complete the recall before he steps back into the wave. Now he gets a chance to fully spin this wave so he cannot hold this freeze. So now the wave will fully reset. I mean, Rongjun probably will still teleport, but he's going to have such a strong first buy back onto the map that he can continue.
Which is what you want, because, I mean, Seiken, especially on this LeBlanc, Ravi talked about it on the desk, he is a player who is so good with the shove and roam. It's why he plays things like TF. It's why he plays the Aurelion Soul. He's really good at getting out of lane and being aggressive, helping out the rest of the map here. So Rongjun being able to keep him in lane is a pretty big deal for Mirage's early game, which so far has been pretty uneventful thus far, especially when you have the Kate Lux bottom lane. You are hoping for a bit more, and not which is ultimately a 1 CS lead. If I'm seeing Caitlyn Lux, Mark, what are you hoping for? Is it 1 CS?
You're hoping to dominate lane, bro.
Yes.
You're trying to push their teeth in.
There you go.
When Cody's son does not have flash, it's a little more dangerous to walk up. So now they have to call on Memento, knowing that Reckless and Hantera feeling a lot more advantageous in this matchup. Looking for the hook. Barely goes wide, and now Memento knows that Hantera doesn't have anything that can really stop him from inflicting damage. Gets the flash out.
Worth noting, though, Hantera did go the Chad rune. He has Hex Flash available, so still plenty of plays able to be made here, but it is nice that you do force him to use Instant Flash. Defensively, it is going to force him to potentially recall, but maybe not, because he's holding him. Oh, oh wow.
He was ready to Hex Flash aggressively, look for the guaranteed knock-up with the Power Fist into Rocket Grab. However, has to immediately change the position of that Hex Flash when Raxo throws out the E. 113 is able to get some. It actually manages to steal the blue buff away from Memento, and so there's a huge camp lead right now for 113. Hits level 6 first. Memento still looking for his level up. 113 hasn't necessarily done anything incredibly proactive with this. It's just a lot about pressure so far. He's helped Seiken maintain this aggressive freeze onto Rangjun, who now has to step up forward and just pray that 113 is not waiting in this bush.
That's right, and that's why you can see him paying his respects, as you say. And the fact, it's as you say, it's pressure onto Memento, and it's prevented him. It's been slowing him, his ability to impact this early games. K-Corp, they know, hey, look, man, if they don't do anything by like 10 minutes, we're basically set, we're good to go. And so far, we're at, what, 8 minutes into the game? Not a whole lot has come through here. Cody-san is even CS with Reckless, which can't happen if you were playing Caitlyn. You need to be ahead, especially with these nerfs coming through. You don't scale as well as you used to. And in doing so, I mean, K-Corp, or rather Mirage, they have to make something happen. They have to get aggressive and try something. Now that Memento has the Dragon's Rage, I want to see him make a play.
I didn't expect the rocket grab to connect, so I wasn't fearing for Rax's life. It was awfully close. He definitely felt the breeze. 113 on this tri-bush, not necessarily engaging this dive, but they are setting up for it, making sure that they have vision control over the bottom side of the map. Memento has an opportunity to dive the top lane. Bad Lulu has the maximum dosage available to tank a lot of turret shots, but it would all be on Memento to get the Dragon's Rage and the damage down, but it's just allowing Bad Lulu to reset. 113 pathing immediately towards the top side. If they reset here, no teleport available, so they cannot answer and contest this Rift Herald either.
Right, the pings are coming through. I don't even think there's vision. They just know that what they're giving up with these recalls coming through, and it's unfortunate because, again, early game had to be theirs. Early game needed to be Mirage's time to make something happen, but instead, K-Corp, they are, even though it isn't any kill, there aren't any kills coming through. It's pressure. That's what we keep talking about here. And now, though, a lot is going to come through with this Rift Herald, Mark, because now you have the ability to set up some of these potential dives, move Pantera to wherever you want something to happen. Okay,
113 pops the Crescent Guard. Does not survive. Oh, Memento flashing away from the Death Laser. I know he was even on his team as well, so there's no fear.
Literally
Memento did have to flash away from the last tick of damage. First Blood does go over to Mirage, so it's a nice boon. However, I want to point something out here.
What is it? Talk to me.
Is Bad Lulu rushing Hullbreaker?
I think he is.
Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I don't know what else Phage Pickaxe would build into for like a Mundo. I guess splitting is what you're hoping for here. And I mean, this was a nice catch out onto 113. So you do manage. I mean, first for a kill on Mundo is, you know, not as great as something like a Victor, but he does get the he still gets the extra. What are they called? Victor? Are they actually called Victor Bucks? What does that mean?
You mean like a local experience or something?
No, you know, his Hex Core upgrade, so he can upgrade his abilities.
Oh.
So because you get a bunch of them on the assist as well as the kill. So it is a big deal that he was part of it. He's gonna get that E upgrade sooner, which means more wave clear, more damage. You love to see it.
Huge.
I'm gonna look it up. I have to know.
Yeah. Definitely something that we must investigate. Oh, this chain into the flash rocket grab. They lock down Rangjun. Beautiful play from Karmine Corp.
Just doesn't get any better. They're the one. The activity is just so big, and you can see the power of this Blitzcrank, and you can see how badly Cody-san and Raxo know they need gold. But here's the problem. Look who's here.
And Memento's here for the counter gank, but not Dragon's Rage available quite yet. Lands Sonic Wave onto Huntera, but Memento has to dash away. Crescent Guard pops out. Reckless finds the kill onto Memento, takes him down. And now Raxo and Cody-san, they have been isolated. They've been pushed back into the alcove. No way out. Rangjun teleports. Will be able to save the wave, but they cannot bring members back from the dead.
No, sir. No Akshan in the game. And another great play from Corp. You see in this play, well, actually, we're going to go to the mid lane play here, because this was nice. You get the root through, which means it's an easy flash rocket grab, and bye-bye Mirage's mid laner. But this is the bottom lane play here. You know Cody Sun and Raxo are feeling the pressure, the fact that they need leads, they need gold, they need turret plates. So what does that do? It opens them up to this exact play, and at this point, it's just so easy for Corp to be able to take them down. Like you called, Mark, TP was just to save the wave. It's definitely too late to save the team.
Without teleport, I know Rong Jun is not going to be able to answer to another fight in the next couple of minutes when teleports become unleashed. Dragon was not secured by either team, though. K-Core had a moment, but they wanted to get the reset off, make sure that they could spend all of their hard-earned cash they just picked up off the corpses of Mirage. And now they have a stronger stat advantage over Mirage. They can walk down to this Dragon, and you already know, Mirage, they're not going to fight it. That'd be crazy.
That would be just ridiculous, to be honest. So they're just going to let it go.
One might even say brazy.
Oh, that's right. That's just brazy, brother. This is Mirage. They're not allowed to do anything. Everything is an illegal move. Walking in your jungle, illegal move. Showing up past the halfway point of mid lane, illegal move. Walking past your Krug camp is also an illegal move. Rong Jr. playing with fire here.
Final Spark comes out, tries to thin out the wave, but this Rift Herald will crash, guaranteeing first brick for Reckless and crew on Karmine Corp.
Yes, Herald won't get a second charge, but I'm very confident that the damage is done. And I'll also want you to know, I looked it up, Mark. It says nothing about Victor Bucks. I'm very sad, but I'm calling them Victor Bucks from now on. So there you go. That's my decision.
Oh my goodness. The huge gold advantage right now. Reckless, almost 2,000 ahead of Cody Sun at the moment. This is, oh no, not 2,000, 1,000. I'm dyslexic, guys, so I can't read numbers. This is why I just shout things instead of actually trying to...
That's why we don't do math.
Numbers, yeah. Why do math when you don't have to?
Agreed.
Just let someone else feed the numbers to you.
Just start getting production to start doing math for us and like telling us stuff.
I see numbers on my screen. Yo, what are they? Oh, 113 has flash available. You're gonna have to flash, buddy. Yep. Throws out the emote, says, "Whoops, you almost got me. You got my flash." A little, almost illegal move from the side of Karmine Corp, aggressing too far forward into the top side of the map. However, this opens up Seiken to push through the bot wave, and they have a full access pass to the bottom half of the map in this jungle. There's no vision from Mirage, so if they ever face check it, and they're not careful about where Seiken is, he's gonna pop someone.
That's right. You got a big damage threat that can circumvent the front line of Bad Lulu here on this Mundo. Seiken on this LeBlanc is 2-0 at the moment here. 6 stacks on the Dark Seal. This is the point where you just die if you're in the wrong place here. And already the pressure is applied into this mid lane, where you can see a K-Corp moving all across the map and constantly being the proactive members here. Because Mirage, they have now become passengers in this game, no longer having the agency they may hope for. Memento, though,
okay, he finds a nice insect with the ward hop, but immediately Hanter is able to flash out. Memento can't say the same. He goes down. Reckless opens up with a curtain call, looking for one more straight bullet. Just going to clear out the minion wave to make this siege even easier for Karmine Corp to finish out.
And yes, Bad Lulu will be able to get this turret, but the local gold going over to the Mundo. Man, this is not how you want your gold distributed on the side of Mirage. And this game is just getting harder and harder for them here. Yeah, you can see Seiken is under pressure, and you can see that it's going to be very difficult to deal with him in the side lane because it is the Hull Breaker rush coming through. But ultimately, the value overall isn't there. So now, we have Mirage. I need them keep on trying to make some of these plays. I mean, props to Memento. He's going for these insects. He's trying to make things happen. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. This is what it's going to have to be, Mark. This is the rest of the game for Mirage. Constantly hoping Memento can make something happen, because that is your fate when you're the sole engage as Lee Sin.
So, this Mundo pick starting to make slightly maybe more sense in what the theory behind Mirage's draft. Because when we looked at the available tanks and frontline members available, one of the biggest ones that we've seen is either the Ornn or the Scion for the rest of the LFL. Picking Mundo, who has no hard crowd control, only slows from the cleaver, means that, you know, that there had to be an underlying reason that you're trading hard crowd control. And if he's going for Hullbreaker and this split push build, then he is attempting to be not only someone that can frontline and is super beefy, but he is effectively someone that Cabochard nor Seiken can push out by themselves. The goal is that he is just going to be this unmovable threat that is pressuring your turrets, and so always K-Corp have to send someone to answer, and it's still going to be difficult. I don't know how well that in theory will work, because I just haven't seen Mundo ever go for something like this with the Hullbreaker before. Yeah. I usually just associate Mundo with being someone that is going to group with the team, and he's just going to try to zone off the marksman from being able to play the game.
So the reason I think it won't work is because of the fact that you can send Cabochard to go for the wave clear. You ultimately don't have to actually try and fight him to get him out of there to negate the value. You just have Cabochard who can safely farm in range and who has good wave clear to kind of nullify that. So unless Bad Lulu is good to go with these ultimates to try and go for these crazy turret dives, maybe he'll be able to find value. But what you're hoping for, usually, traditionally with a split pusher, is that you need more than one person. You need to be able to draw multiple people to your side of the map, or if they don't come, they end up losing a lot. I don't know if Mundo is going to be able to do that the way Mirage is hoping for. And the other thing, too, is that even if he can, Mirage, the rest of the team, have to be really careful about getting caught out, because we talk about how Seiken is playing this LeBlanc, is going to be able to get past any front line, which isn't much, it's just Lee Sin, to be able to take out the squishy members like Raxo and Cody Sun. What that means is you have to avoid, one, this LeBlanc, two, getting pulled by this Blitzcrank. So playing the 4v4 is extremely dangerous for Mirage's side.
And when you are playing a Caitlyn Lux lane that didn't snowball, didn't get out of lane first, this whole mid game is so rough for Mirage, because you cannot play out the siege fantasy that Caitlyn Lux want to do. They can't push up the wave safely. They cannot inflict damage onto these turrets. They can't pressure it, because this is a part where Caitlyn, yes, this is the lethality build, so she can threaten a little bit more with headshots and ace in the hole. It's still nowhere as strong as Rekkles is right now on the Jhin in comparison.
And that very same Jhin is 2 items deep right now. Has the Gale Force, so even if somehow Memento gets near him with that flash coming up soon, this AD carry is going to be very difficult to get on top of. And it's starting to look like K-Corp, the beginning of that Revenge Tour, is getting off to a good start here, as you can see it. Even though this isn't as active as we've seen K-Corp play in the earlier parts of the game, they've been able to still find these leads very slowly but surely here, and all Mirage have to show for it here at this 20-minute mark is that second Rift Herald. Oh, Memento. Yeah.
Oh, the rocket grab comes out. Memento doesn't even have a chance to flash or ward hop away. They just kill him instantly out of the stopwatch. Huge pick from K-Corp.
Yeah, I really don't think you should commit that. You're about as dead as can be. But either way, he does end up falling. No jungler means you could consider going for an early Baron if you really wanted to. There's no way, again, Mirage do not win this 4v4. It is simply not possible, especially because it's a 4v3 with Bad Lulu still trying to threaten this tier 2 turret. But at the moment, K-Corp are happy with the stalemate. They're happy with Bad Lulu trying to pressure this turret, and Cabochard very happily clearing these waves and getting this farm. What that means is his mid lane, you can see how dangerous it is for them to be there. 113 is emoting because he's looking.
Oh, deadly flourish right into the rocket grab. It's just too damn easy for K-Corp to set him up, line him down, and knock a single target out in Raxo. He's picking up the crown of the shattered, the crown.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to save him the next time he gets picked out like that. It's not about the damage. It's about the displacement.
Yeah, that's the big problem here. The idea is definitely like, okay, I am seriously under threat from this LeBlanc, and that's kind of what they're playing towards here. And speaking of threats, no shield.
Oh, but Bad Lulu, just a little too fast. Escapes the range of the rocket grab. Another thing I wanted to point out, you called that Corp had an opportunity to essentially force Baron. If Reckless is playing, you know, almost any other
yeah.
like they playing Jinx, it's really damn hard to try to do an early Baron with Jhin. You have a lot of early power, you have a lot of killing potential with the 4th bullet. It's just a little too damn slow for the Baron take.
But that's why you play for turn, because if Mirage walk up, they explode.
True. And they could do that later on. True. But they felt the advantage was more guaranteed playing for mid lane, looking for a pick. Raxo not having flash in the last available time. This time around, flash is available. I haven't really seen Bad Lulu really threaten Cabochard yet, and with the teleport flank from Seiken, rest of the members coming in, this is going to be a 4-on-1. Bad Lulu still has flash available, flashing out of the chains. Huntera just needs to be able to walk up, looks for the rocket grab instead. Deadly Flourish as well. All 5 members getting in on the play. And the rest of Mirage, I mean, they might be able to find some push onto the top side of the map. They'll take a tier 1 turret in response, but will that be enough?
Do you want the honest answer, or do you want the copium?
I think the people deserve the truth.
Okay. No, it doesn't matter, because Cabochard ends up getting this tier 2. Is shoving this bottom wave all the way to this inhib turret, and you look how many people are recalling as a result. Drawing this pressure is kind of ultimately what Bad Lulu was going for, if you think about it. Look at the response from Mirage, and what does that mean? 3rd dragon of the game going over to Corp. Nice and easy. That's going to be Ocean Soul point. All but guaranteed, unless Raxo could go for some legendary steal with that final spark. And that Ocean Soul, that comes through in the next 5 minutes or so. It's going to be a nail in the coffin. I actually think the spectator thing actually, the overlay actually spoiled it a little bit. Did you see that?
No. So
it didn't happen.
I have not been spoiled.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
It's just me. Curse my insight and my observation skills.
So now you know information that I don't.
But I just told you, so now you know.
I'm not going to be honest, it just kind of passed in and out of my ear, so...
Classic play-by-play.
Hey, come on, man.
I'm kidding.
There's other things I'm looking at, too.
Of course. No, I'm playing. And you can see, even though Cody-san threw some traps down, Huntera is very happy to be able to just walk that. It basically does no damage to him at this point in the game. And although Bad Lulu's been able to push this bot wave all the way back, yeah, this is a hard game for Mirage. Oh my gosh, look, they're going to go for him again.
Hey, it's
no flash.
Round 2. And this time, yeah, Bad Lulu, no flash this time around either. Corp not going to dedicate as many members this time around. It's only Reckless and Cabochard that are needed for the run of the damage. 113 finally gets in range, so audaciously charge and spear Bad Lulu right through the backside. Corp taking another kill, and because of the remaining pressure from Seiken and Huntera in the mid lane, there's nothing that Mirage can truly answer. They try to bait and look for a face check punish from Corp, but Huntera still is able to threaten 2v4 because of how Blitzcrank works, baby. Rocket grab, forcing the flash out of Cody-san.
And that just means that in this next Dragon fight, Cody-san, he's not going to be in the fight. Like, with all this pressure that's going through here, you're worried about the Blitzcrank hook. You don't have flash. Like, Gale Force is really hard to use to dodge things like that. You have to be able to predict them. So the positioning now is so defensive. Oh my god.
Ooh, the flash from Seiken does not find the last bit of damage onto Cody-san, trying to punish the fact that he did not have flash. Curtain Call opens up, forces away the members of Mirage. Tier 2 turret does fall. Corp have sure control of the map, and even the inhibitor turret fell quite some time ago, thanks to the push from Corp and catching out Bad Lulu.
If you're a fan of Mirage, you gotta keep your eyes on Memento. He is gonna be the guy to make something insane happen if it was actually going to happen. And this is a tough spot to find yourself in if you're Mirage. Again, we've highlighted it. When you're the only engage as Lee Sin, your game is very difficult, especially if you're playing from behind, because you have so many threats to go through before you can actually reasonably get a good Dragon Rage off. So the play here for Mirage is just clear up whatever vision you can. Try and set up some kind of angle for Memento to set up a big play, and that is what needs to happen if Mirage have any singular hope of coming back in, but it's tough. Look at Cabochard. 3 items with that Cyrilda's. This poke is insane. 113 has the stopwatch. He's fine.
Yeah, 113 doesn't even... does pop the Crescent Guard, so it's 1 ultimate ability traded for Final Spark. Seiken now trying to route off Mirage members on the right side of the flank. Ace and Hole get some damage down onto Seiken, but no chunk. Cody's son has to be careful about approaching this one. Seiken just pops him! Good night, Cody's son! No marksman available for the rest of Mirage. Their damage completely taken out of the fight. Rongjun looks for the turnaround, takes out Cabochard, but still bites the dust in the end. Mirage get aced at 27 minutes, and K-Corp don't even look at the Baron, they're looking to end the game.
And it's 1 for 5 in terms of trades. I think they're going to have some escort it just so they can take that mid Tier 3 turret, but ultimately K-Corp firm control of this game, continuing to assert that dominance, continuing to play like we've been highlighting the last couple of weeks here, looking to get their 5th game in a row as they start off the Revenge Tour here. Is K-Corp trying to take down all who wronged them during the first round robin.
Yes. K-Corp, if you remember, a 39-40 minute banger from these two teams. And K-Corp, despite having an Infernal Soul on their side, still could not close out the game because of one team fight that went catastrophically wrong. This time around, it is not the case. K-Corp are dominantly in this game.
You can see how confident they are. Spell shield blown immediately. Bad Lulu instantly under threat, and even with that ultimate pop, the damage is there. The ignite is through, applying the grievous wounds, and of course on the side, Cody's son, sadly an afterthought, just gets popped by Seiken. Only takes 1 second, and even though Rongjun is doing his best with the stasis, with that ultimate taking 1 down, 1 for 5 is not worth it, and it means you've lost so much here. Mirage, this is where they have to make their stand. They need this dragon to buy the time they need to maybe do something. Can they do it?
Cass, curtain call opens up. The Ocean Soul being secured, and this surely should be a game if they get enough numbers down. Bad Lulu on the run, trying to flash away. The Revenge Tour is here to stay, and if you're not aboard the bus, then you better get the hell out, because they're going to roll over you if you are in their path. K-Corp looking to take revenge against Mirage, who took the game that should have been theirs last time around at the beginning of the round robin, with 4 members strong from K-Corp pushing through the bottom side of the map. Reckless will shush any doubters for those that believed Mirage could have been better. The hashtag Wrecking Crew will reign supreme, and K-Corp will take the game over Mirage.
And we say it, we've been saying it every week since they started turning it around, since Nice in week 4, Mark. This team